victory. I just got another victory. Opposition said they sick of me. We turn their future to history. They try to hit me, they missing me. Ooh, they in the way. They getting stepped on back in the day. We who they slept on. You see my place. It's never.
What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you back to Sheer Billions Knicks. I am your host. My name is Sheer, and you already know we are first to many. We are second to no one when covering the news, team moves, and the who's who connected to our New York Knicks. If you're here for the first time, I want to salute you. I want to thank you for joining my channel. Check me out. If you love the video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you know anytime I'm dropping new videos. If you like what I'm saying, click that like button, hit that thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. If you're returning to the channel, my SB community, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. I want to thank you, salute you. You've been with me from day one. Even recently, if you've been with me, I appreciate you. You're going to help me grow this thing out. We just want to be talking about our Knicks, and we're talking about them at the right time. Every time it's the right time, whether they're down or whether they're up. We here, and we got now. But you know also you can't have those people who support you if you don't have those people who don't. But if you're a fan of basketball, you're here anyway. So do me a favor. I see you. I see you in the comment section. Engage. Let your voice be heard, man. We try not to silence no voices here. As long as you keep it respectful and you watch your tone. Keep it respectful and you watch your tone. Anybody can say what they feel. Friend or foe, we want the smoke. So if you're a fan of NBA basketball, let's get it. All right. So I want to welcome all of you to Sheer Billions Knicks. All right. What I wanted to do today is just hop on. The New York Knicks face the Sacramento Kings this evening. And it's been good. I mean, we had a tough loss in Charlotte, but once again, our guys were just gassed. I think we underestimate as fans the level of not only physical fatigue, but mental, spiritual, emotional fatigue that comes along with it. We underestimate that. We tend to think, you know what, these are professionals. They train all year for this. They should be up for it. Well, you may be right, but once again, this team has players on it that are still in the process of learning how to win, learning how to close games, learning how to have sustained winning and sustained effort. All right. They're learning how to close people out. Even at the half, we were up 16. You know, we let that lead dwindle. But once again, it's one of those games we put behind us, you know, and we focus on the task at hand. And the task at hand are the Sacramento Kings. Now, I'm looking forward to this game. I really am. I'm looking forward to seeing how we stack up against this team. This team has been pretty hot. They are second in the West right now, and that's funny, you know. So, you know, the title of this video talks about how the Knicks are making the experts look incompetent. All right. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about talk, and I'm not going to be on here for long, but I'm going to talk a little bit about talk. All right. So I want to see what the Sacramento Kings team looks like. I know that their offense is scoring at a historic pace right now. I know that. I see that. But it's so funny when I listen to different content creators or I'm watching some of the sports news networks, and they're talking about, yeah, Mike Brown, hands down, coach of the year this year. Hands down, coach of the year this year. I understand if people are saying, you know what, spread the wealth. Tom Thibodeau has had coach of the year 2 times already. Damn that. It's not a matter of who's had it, who's won the award already. It's a matter of what is the type of job that you're doing on the floor right now. And some people will say, well, look at Mike Brown. You know, look at it. Listen, I don't care about Mike Brown. And first and foremost, that man has 2 all-stars on his team. He has Domantas Sabonis and he has De'Aaron Fox. And he has a couple of star young players. But if we want to talk about all-stars, he has 2 documented all-stars on his team. Some will argue about Jalen Brunson, but facts of the matter is he didn't make it. So technically, we only got one All-Star on our team. And our level of expectation was at the same place that Sacramento's was. So I'm with Tibbs all day. Tibbs, at the end of this season, will have proven that he is the coach of the year of this squad. Period. So that's that. But what I'm loving is just, it's not an apology tour just yet, but it is. It's not to the level that I want it to be just yet, but it's getting there. I just love how the New York Knicks have put together a formula that has been working for them, you know? And to be honest, the only people who put it together, who believed in it, who saw it come to fruition are the front office, the coaching staff, and the players, and the owner. Outside of that, nobody else knew, expected, anticipated. As much as we want to pontificate and say like we did, none of us saw this coming. And it's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of. It's a beautiful thing to see in articles that are being written, in news stories that are being covered, in sports segments that are being presented to the world. It is a beautiful thing to hear the world talk about the New York Knicks as an up-and-coming team. As an up-and-coming team, a team. I mean, in the past week, I heard them talk about us being championship contenders. I posted on Twitter the clips from the video from KG's, podcast, him and Paul Pierce. And they hear the opposing, the ops talk about the New York Knicks and say, yo, you know what? They're a contender. And I don't take that lightly because Kevin Durant is a Hall of Famer. Paul Pierce is a Hall of Famer. We shouldn't take those, and they know basketball. They know what they see. So you can't take those moments of, praise. You can't take those things lightly, especially coming from KG. KG was adamant. Paul Pierce was still dripping with a little bit of that Celtic hate. But KG was adamant. He was adamant. He was just like, yo, bro, I'm telling you, when I'm watching, and you could tell Paul Pierce is not watching as many of the games. Like he said it himself. He said, I look at the box score. So he could see from the box score that every time he looks, Julius Randle is hitting 20 and 10 at least, right? You can tell KG watches the games. KG's just like, nah, them boys. KG looks like if he were playing and he were in his prime, he would want to play on the New York Knicks. And I'm glad I said it that way because that's a great segment. That is a great segment into an article that I read. And I actually have it here. Let me pull it up real quick. I'm not going to pull it up for you guys on the screen, but it's an article written by Sam Quinn, and it's by CBS. Ironically, CBS. These are the same people that gave the D+ to Emmanuel Quickly. That's neither here nor there. I'm going to get back on track. But it says how the surprisingly strong Knicks have given themselves the chance to be picky in future superstar pursuits. If you have a chance to go read that article, go read the article. I haven't read through it completely yet. I skimmed through it, and I love what it is that I'm seeing. So in this article, they talked a little bit about the summertime, and they talked about when superstar players became available. And then they talked about this year, and they talked about when superstar players became available. So they talked about DeJounte Murray. They talked about Kyrie Irving, KD, Donovan Mitchell. And they were reflecting on how many of these teams stepped up and offered what they needed to offer to get those deals done. And how the New York Knicks, were criticized for not really going all in to secure one of those stars. And then they got to the point where they talked about Donovan Mitchell, and they said even the Knicks used discernment when they felt as if the cost was too much. And they pulled back, knowing how much they would get criticized for it. But then the article spins and says, well, look at them now. They have placed themselves in a position where they can choose to be picky. about the next superstar who they pursue. So it's gone from them being desperate as a franchise to now positioning themselves to be not only a stable franchise, but a franchise that has experienced winning, and a franchise that now people view through through their own lens, that our players have talent and they have potential and that they're assets as opposed to liabilities. So now, with that being said, the whole landscape of what our organization is and what they can offer is different now. So when they're talking about being picky, that means there's going to be options of superstars who are going to be ready to choose New York. And New York can pick who they will sign off on and who they won't. And that's a stark difference from where we were in the summertime in 2022. So that's the piece that I love. I know as Knicks fans, we feel different right now. We're beyond that point where we don't know how to feel, but we definitely feel different. We feel as if with our style of play, it really doesn't matter who's in front of us. It does matter who's on the court for us. But at the same time, it's next man up, and we don't care who's in front of us. So this is why I'm looking forward to this game tonight, because for the most part, if you ask me, Mike Brown is Tom Thibodeau light. He's Tom Thibodeau light. Everything, if you listen to the Sacramento Kings staff, if you listen to the Sacramento Kings game previews, everything they're saying about what they love about this season for the Sacramento Kings is what we're saying in New York about Tom Thibodeau in this resurgence. But also what they're saying out there is he plays the team a lot of minutes. And this is so key, because this is a difference in fan bases. You hear their announcers speak on it, you hear their fan bases speak on it, and you say, oh, he's being old school. This is what they're saying about Mike Brown playing their team a hell of a lot of minutes. Oh, you know what? He brings an old school style that's missing. I'm telling you, I said it on my previous video. The league will shift when they see that somebody discovers a formula. Do not let the New York Knicks get to the conference finals. Do not let them represent the East in the finals. Please don't let them win the championship. Or you're going to have a team, a league full of teams playing lockdown defense, looking for centers that look like Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims with a backup like Hartenstein. You're going to see all of that. It's a copycat league. But you can already see pretty much it's going to be the Spider-Man meme when we're looking at Sacramento tonight, because we pretty much will look identical. What I love is it's always a party time when Julius faces Sabonis. He remembers Indiana. He wants to make sure there is no question. He remembers those times when they chose him, when they chose Sabonis over him for the All-Star. He remembers all that. I love that about Julius. Julius is petty. We need him to be Petty LaBelle tonight. We need him to be Petty White. All right? So I love that. But I just love the fact that we can look at this team and talk about the competence. Now, no matter how good we do, we're going to have Knicks fans who talk about, listen, this person ain't performing. Look, I don't know. Listen, a lot of y'all got to reevaluate your lives. A lot of y'all got to reevaluate your lives. That's straight up. For those of you who just like, well, let's just see how far they go before I root for them. Like, what if God did that to us? What if God did that to us? What if your parents did that to you? What if your parents said, let me look and see how far they go before I decide if I want to cheer for them or not? Let me see if this is a real thing. I hope you're not doing that to your children. I hope as parents you are not doing that to your children, where you're just like, oh, well, I'll wait and see what you do before I encourage you. I know parents who do that. That's something that's terrible. That's terrible, because you have to think along the journey. if you have a parent or if you have a coach and they see when you're starting to dip in energy, that's when you need encouragement and motivation. At what point do you give that? Or do you hold on to your praise like dog treats? And only when they go on the lawn or on the side, wherever they go, do you give them a treat? A lot of Knicks Twitter is wild. Knicks Twitter is wild. But it's always funny to hear other teams and how other teams have patience with their players, or how other teams criticize their team and their players, and how there's a stark difference between how we do it and how they do it. And I know, listen, no other time do we want to be compared to small markets. So why do I want to use it in my favor for this particular example? Fandom is just different. But I love what we're doing, man. I love what we're doing. I love the fact that we're starting now. It's not with the current players, it's with the legends. They're starting to turn their head and say, look at these Knicks. Look at these Knicks. And of course, this generation of young people are followers. They're not leaders. I'm sorry. I said that. This generation of young people are followers. They want to be liked. This is the want to be liked generation. How many likes can I get? What's the trend? What's the new trend? So it's great that our praise is coming from some of the legends in the game. You know what I mean? You look at the Isaiah Thomases, or you look at the Kevin Garnett's and the Paul Pierces, you know, the Perkins. You look at them, and then eventually it's going to start trickling down from players. I respect Donovan Mitchell. I respect him because he's been one, I don't know, it's almost like I think he really wanted to be traded to the Knicks because he knew a lot of the players that were already on the Knicks. I saw that there was a comment that he commented on and responded to Josh Hart when Josh Hart was asking, you know, where can I go to play or to get a good indoor golf or whatever have you. Donovan Mitchell was on it. Anytime Jalen Brunson is going off on a big game, Donovan Mitchell comments on it. You know what I mean? So he's paying attention. I think those are little signs that he's dropping that's saying, yo, I ain't forget y'all guys. You know, or even if we battling, I'm still going to let it be known, you know, that those are my guys over there. I know them. I connect with them. But what I'm saying is, it's at the point now where it's no secret the type of team that we are. And now that we're facing, especially coming down this stretch and going into the playoffs, a lot of the teams that we're going to be facing will have those very stars who are going to eventually be free agents. And you can see up close, like KD did with Golden State. When KD and Oklahoma City had that 3-1 lead, and Golden State came back to beat them. I think it was 3-1 lead. I'm bugging. When they were up in that series, and Golden State came back and beat them for, you know, one of their first chips, KD said, you know, after that, you know, loss, you know, he's sitting down. He said he finally called his agent and he talked to him. And he said, damn, Golden State, what if? What I want, I would love for that to be a Giannis, who after a 7-game series, New York Knicks in this conference finals this year overtake the Milwaukee Bucks to go on to represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. And whether we win the finals or not, Giannis watches us either as he moves off the floor or he watches us as we celebrate and hoist the championship. Or, you know, as we bow our heads in defeat, feeling like, damn, you never get this close. You know how tough it is to get to the NBA Finals and win it. I would love for him to be the one who looks at the screen, calls up his agent, and he says, damn, what if? What if I could be that piece and we can get a whole nother whatever. Maybe it's time to leave Milwaukee. or any of the free agents that you could think of, or superstars that you could think of who are ready to make that trade. We're at that point. And that's why I love this article, because that article talks about how the New York Knicks can be selective about the star now. They've done a tremendous job in assembling a team. Assembling a team. Just a few short years ago, we had so many power forwards on the roster that we could have one at every position. We have depth at each position, and we've assembled a team, and we have assets, and we have picks, and our books are on point. So it's just a great place to be. I hope you guys are really looking at it and enjoying it. I hope you're not overthinking it. Support this team. Stop being critical. This is something special is happening right now. I mean, you could be critical once, be however you want to be. What I'm just saying is understand that something special is happening right now. We're seeing these young players get discovered by the NBA world. It was a beautiful thing to watch IQ look at the opportunity, snatch that mother flipper, and then the NBA world respond to him. Now you know all eyes are going to be on him. They want to see. You see how quickly things can turn, no pun intended. With that game alone, how he was, in the running for Sixth Man of the Year. And how when he had that performance in Boston, how the betting thrusted him to the forefront as a favorite. And you see how we had that 9-game winning streak and we beat Boston a couple of times, how betting increased our odds of winning the championship. I love it. And what I love is it's not going to take long for us to flip and turn this whole thing around, because when you're in New York and you're winning, all the eyes get on you quicker and your results come a little bit faster. So do the weight of expectations. So this is a perfect period now as Knicks fans for us to enjoy, because we're playing with house money. We're playing with house money. When it becomes a task as opposed to a journey, it's when, if we do get on this magical run and make it to the conference finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, or make it to the finals, or win this mother flipper, then that's when the expectations of winning are going to come in. And that's when the criticisms are going to come in. And they're going to move from us asking for them, acknowledge us, to, yo, won't you leave us alone? There's going to be a time when the media and the outside world is going to be so much more critical than Knicks fans are. So take this opportunity to enjoy this team, enjoy how they're playing freely, and enjoy crushing every limitation, every ceiling that they placed on us. I don't know about you, but that's my approach. So I look forward to tonight. Hopefully we get this dub. And if we do, I'll be back with Knicks Deli tomorrow. All right? So take care. Enjoy the game. Drive safely if you're on your way home or you're going to be home soon. And listen, if there's no struggle, there is no progress. But remember this. We are here and we got right now. Sheer Brilliance Knicks. Peace.